Okay, I've put on the camera for the third time, completely forgetting about the heat wave and about everything. Also, have to say that in May, for the first time, I think this year, I've started reading more again. Because in the beginning of the year, January to April, I couldn't read that much because I was thinking about my own stuff and I was writing my own stuff. Well, I was writing my own stuff from January to March. From April, I would say was dabbling rather than writing, but I've started to read other people's stories as well, and it's very interesting. I feel like, and I have no idea why I've okay. The thought that came into my head was about freedom. Because I recently was listening to either an interview or a webinar or something, and the very first question, the woman leading it asked, if there is one thing in your life that you're missing the most, that is lacking the most, well, what is this thing? And you can see that I'm kind of trying to keep straight because it's actually very hard to sit with like a straight spine. If there's one thing in your life that is missing the most right now, what is this thing? And this thing for me, like the immediate thing that came into my head is freedom. Freedom of my time, freedom of my body, freedom of things in my head. Because I think I'm the sort of person who, for whom the freedom begins in the head and who imposes so many strict things on herself. Like I was speaking in one of the other videos about fighting and struggling, who somehow thinks that constantly fighting and struggling, for example, is necessary and that everything is hard. Because, I can assure you, if you think that in life everything is hard, like I do, and I'm trying to change that belief, but if you think everything is hard, everything is going to be hard. Literally, standing up is going to be hard. Going to the store is going to be hard. Heat is going to be hard. Uh, Walking up and down the stairs is going to be hard. Talking to people is going to be hard. Everything is going to be hard. Because your brain is like, everything is hard, everything is hard. But one word that I've said that I'm missing the most is freedom. Because I'm wondering when quite soon, hopefully, well, I'll get to experience that freedom. Maybe for the first time, because I've never been free, meaning like without a job for more than 2 months, I think, more than 1 month, for years. I mean, my whole life, probably, I never stopped. I never made any breaks. Like, I was always, always, always on, always performing, always like, you know. And I'm wondering what this freedom will bring. Whether I will deal with it psychologically, whether I will be living my dream life all of a sudden, or whether this dream life will be a nightmare because my super controlling brain will try to turn it into what it previously was, to completely go back to the mold that I was in. Whether the dreams that I'm dreaming about will start approaching with much more speed, or whether it's not that simple. Whether I'm making the right decision. I'm wondering what that freedom would be like. Because I want so many things. Like this whole year, even like from the end of last year, I wanted so many things. I wanted also so many changes, so many things to change in my life. And I also wanted to attract so many things. I've basically, yeah, wanted everything to change. But at the same time, I'm still working on that fear and those old beliefs that I have. But I'm wondering how it will be, the freedom I mean. You can hear, I think, and I can sense that I'm a lot less nervous than I was about it. I'm not sure if it's visible in earlier videos, but I was in panic about it. I mean, my body was in panic about it, my brain was in panic about it, I was panicked. I was literally panicked. No, not like a panic attack, but I was shaking. I was shaking even thinking about it. Even thinking about not having a structure, not having a job, not having like a salary, not having like all these agendas and all these fights and all these like standing up for myself and for others and for I mean like all of that shit, that was there for such a long time. All that structure, all that system that I was living in and I'm still am. And I was in a state of panic about it. I was in a state of panic because yeah, I've never chosen freedom. I've always chosen certainty. And I think I was also speaking about it, or maybe I've deleted that video, I don't know. But I think I've never allowed myself to go for the things I truly wanted, or for the people I truly wanted. I mean, I've never allowed myself to be audacious. I've never allowed myself to be bold. I've never allowed myself to want big things for my life. I've always targeted something achievable. I've always targeted something sensible. I never went crazy with it. And at some point, you arrive at a point in your life where you're like, am I always going to target just achievable stuff? Am I always going to be at this level? Am I not ever going to try? Really? To try to do something bigger? To try to, you know, to apply myself in something bigger? Am I not going to allow myself that? Am I going to just to be a person who has everything average? Really? I think I was speaking about it in one of the first videos where I always thought someone else was more meriting, sorry, was more of merit, had more right to receive the things that I wanted. And someone else had the right to have, I don't know, to be with like a certain man that I could not imagine myself with, or to have to be a book author, or to have readers, or to have an audience, or to have fans, or to have, I don't know, like I always thought it's too much. It's like wanting too much, asking for too much, like having too big of a goal, like having too big of a freedom. Like this is audacious. This is unsufferable. This is impossible. I mean, I even shamed it inside me because I shamed me for wanting it. And now, as the freedom is approaching faster and faster, and even that is very slow because I know people who would have just quit their job on the spot, like 6 months ago. I don't know, like whenever they had this idea and just quit their job and just jump onto the next thing. And I am approaching it really strategically and really, I would say, slowly. But I have my own reasons for that as well. But I'm, it's, it's like I'm sliding down a gigantic mountain, and at the top of the mountain was my old stuff, and at the bottom of the mountain, I'm sliding so fast that I can't even see what's at the bottom of the mountain. I can't even believe it. Like I'm trying inside me to create that feeling. Sometimes I'm succeeding, sometimes I'm not, to just create that feeling of getting what I want. And it's extremely hard. I mean, nobody talks about it, how hard it is to create that feeling, how hard it is to create that feeling that you have what you want inside, and also how hard it is to consistently hold it. Because you can create it for 5 minutes, you can create it for 7 minutes when you're meditating or walking or running or whatever, but then you can't hold it. Like your old self takes over. So holding it is very hard. Holding that feeling that you're worth something and that you're not worse than anyone, you're not better than anyone, you're just you. And you have the right to the things that you want. And if you want them, somewhere deep inside that it means something. It's not random. It means that this is your this is the destination that you should go to. This is the direction that you should go in. Because if inside me, I think I've also said it already, the direction was different, I would have walked in that direction instead. So it's very hard inside to hold that feeling of having it and to create that feeling as well. And I can't even believe that the freedom is coming. I can't even believe it. Like, I somehow try to imagine it, but because I've been not in there for so long and I didn't have that kind of freedom for so long, I can't even believe it. I can't believe it. I can't fathom it. And I know that there are people who have that freedom their whole lives. I mean, they became, for example, creators at a very young age. And yeah, and they, sorry, I'm thinking, changing position. They became creators at a very young age, and they enjoy that freedom. They choose their next destination themselves. They plan their life themselves. They organize themselves by themselves. They are responsible for the output themselves. They are responsible for the monetization and the gain of money themselves. And they are just their own boss and their own employer and their own employee. And for me, it's completely foreign. And I understand that freedom is not just waking up whenever you want, doing whatever you want, like not doing anything. I mean, I sometimes wonder if for me, what I call freedom will be a lot more structural than the corporate world I'm in right now. If it's going to be actually even worse because the pressure I'm putting on myself is quite big. But what I mean is, I never had that sort of freedom before, and I can hardly believe I will have it, and I can hardly believe I've made that decision myself, and I can hardly even believe that it's happening. And maybe that's why I didn't get a lot of stuff that I wanted to in life yet. Maybe it's just my timeline and my life. It's unfolding in the way that it is, and that's it. But I think I didn't get a lot of stuff because at the bottom of my heart, at the bottom of myself, like inside, I couldn't get myself to believe it was possible for me. I couldn't get myself to believe that it will happen one day. And right now, the work that I'm doing this year is above all is getting myself to believe it's possible. First of all, to actually say out loud that I want it, and to declare it and to claim it out loud. And second, to get myself and get my body to believe that this is possible. Because this should be another video, but sometimes your mind believes something or imagines something or creates a picture, but your body and your being doesn't believe it. Like, physically, you don't believe that it's possible for you. And I do think that that sort of freedom, I my body didn't even believe it was possible, and part of me still doesn't believe it. And this is the work, this is the shift, to actually believe and to actually embody that version of myself that has that freedom, that is free. Because I think this is the thing that I always most wanted. I wanted to be free and I wanted to create. And I do not know whether it's going to be, I don't know, for 6 months, for a year, for a few years. I don't know. I don't know. But I've wanted that freedom and I wanted to try. And I wanted to be authentic to myself and to be honest with myself. Because at a certain point, when you want something, when you really want it, when your body really wants it, and you have no doubt that it's the thing you're supposed to be doing, you can kind of offer yourself substitutes and think about other stuff and try to distract yourself. But ultimately, if you want this thing, it's not going to go away. And if you want this thing, it means, for me at least, that you want it for something. That this means something. And maybe people who will read my books one day also, it means something to them. And they needed this, and it needed to get through me and to come out through me and to get to them. I don't know. I don't know what's the end of that chain, and I don't know what's the end of that journey, and I don't even know how long this journey will take because it's sure taking long. But at a certain point, you can't struggle anymore. Struggle against this wanting. At a certain point, you gotta give yourself that freedom, and you gotta jump.